Majority Leader is recognized.
I ask unanimous consent the quorum be dispensed with.
Without objection.
Madam President, today the Senate will continue making progress on the NDAA, one of the most important bills of the year, and something that for more than 6 decades has passed with bipartisan support. Yesterday, we adopted 2 important amendments to the NDAA, adding to the Senate's work on outcompeting the Chinese government. Both amendments, one by Senators Cornyn and Casey, one by Senators Round and Tester, passed overwhelmingly with 91 yes votes. It's not often that 91 senators can unite on a single measure, let alone 2 measures. So to see us unite on outcompeting the Chinese government was an important demonstration that this issue remains broadly bipartisan and something we'll continue working on throughout the year. This morning, we will hold another vote on an amendment by Senators Warnock and Budd, halting the harassment of our service members by debt collectors. I hope this will also enjoy broad support. And last night, we sent an outline with a number of additional amendments. I'm hopeful we can lock in an agreement soon to begin voting on some of them. Since last Wednesday, the Senate has voted on 8 amendments here on the floor, adopted 7 more by voice vote. This is how the process should work. Finally, I'll also keep working with the Republican leader, with Chair Reid and Ranking Member Wicker, on a second manager's package that will have more accomplishments both sides can embrace. And I appreciate the cooperation and good faith of my colleagues from both sides of the aisle. Mr. President, I've said repeatedly that the NDAA is an opportunity for the Senate to show we can work on the biggest issues facing our country through bipartisanship, cooperation, honest debate. That's what we've seen play out so far this year on the floor. Bipartisanship. The NDAA process in this chamber is a welcome departure from the contentious, chaotic, and partisan race to the bottom we saw in the House. And, as I have also said, if we continue embracing bipartisanship, we'll finish our work on the NDAA before the start of the August state work period. We wish to finish the NDAA as soon as we can. There is no reason for delay. We aren't quite there yet. There's still some more work to be done. But we are close. I thank my colleagues for their cooperation, and the Senate will continue working on the NDAA until the job is done. On the IRA anniversary, when we passed the Inflation Reduction Act last year, I said here on the floor that it would endure as one of the defining legislative feats of the 21st century. And just 1 year later, the IRA is paying huge dividends for the American people, for our economy, and for our environment. Republicans claimed the IRA would make inflation worse. One of our Republican colleagues claimed the IRA would cut jobs and fuel inflation. But, Mr. President, since we passed the IRA, inflation has gone not up, but down. We are lowering costs day by day for the American people with the passage of this legislation. Inflation is now half of what it was a few years ago. Across the board, costs are coming down for the American family. For the first time ever, we've made it possible for Medicare to negotiate the price of prescription drugs, helping Americans save at the pharmacy. Because of the IRA, vaccines are free for Medicare beneficiaries, and a cap on out-of-pocket drug spending. No senior will have to pay more than $2,000 a year for drugs. It's coming very soon. What a relief for people, lowering costs on one of the things that bothered them most, the high cost of prescription drugs. That's what we Democrats are doing, while over there in the House, the Republicans are just racing to the bottom. We also capped the price of insulin for seniors on Medicare to $35 a month, spurring major companies like Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk to follow suit. And millions of people who buy their health insurance on the ACA exchanges are now saving hundreds of dollars each month. Indeed, we are lowering costs. That's what we promised to do. On top of these savings, I also said the Inflation Reduction Act would kickstart the era of affordable clean energy and create countless good-paying green jobs. The Inflation Reduction Act has done just that, too. From the new wind turbine facilities in New York to solar facilities in Arizona, the IRA is paving the way for America to lead in clean energy manufacturing. 80 new clean energy manufacturing facilities have been announced across the country, employing thousands and thousands of people, and not just in junky, low-wage jobs, but in good, high-pay, high-skill jobs with training to boot. Again, these new facilities mean even more good-paying new jobs for years to come in construction, manufacturing, clean energy, and so much more. And as the new jobs are being created, wage growth continues to go up. It's now exceeding inflation. So the amount brought home in your paycheck pays more than the cost has gone up more than the cost of goods has gone up. That's a new thing. Only happened in the last few years. And the policies that we have passed here in the Senate, that Democrats have passed here in the Senate, frankly, are making a huge difference. And of course, we're only getting started. As we continue implementing the IRA, the American people will see more evidence of the Democratic agenda working for them. And on AI, finally, with so much going on in the Senate, I want to remind my colleagues, today we will hold our third all-out Senate briefing on artificial intelligence. Our presenters today are Rick Stevens from the Department of Energy's Argonne National Lab, Dr. Setharam Nathan from the National Science Foundation, and Dr. Kathleen Fisher from the Information Innovation Office at DARPA. And finally, our moderator will be Dr. Jose Marie Griffiths, Member National Security Commission on Artificial Intelligence and President of Dakota State University. It's a broad range of presenters. The last few briefings were well attended. I know people are busy today, but please try to make the time. And the Q&A was surprisingly very direct, and we got a lot of answers and learned a lot. So I look forward to my colleagues at the briefing, but surely will be an illuminating and important discussion, and I thank everyone for their good work.